Hi guys, welcome back to Love What You Eat and welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm going to be showing you something that I do quite often. I've showed it on my stories a few times and you guys have requested, what's the recipe? So I'm going to show you a nice smooth meat stuffed pasta that is really velvety and rich and full of flavor. Honestly, when I cook for myself at home, I just go with the flow. I go with flavor seasonings and I just throw stuff together. So sometimes it's hard to really stop myself and tell you what the measurements are because some things just cook better from the heart. So I'm going to try my best and just really show you what I do and how I use the ingredients. So I have 375 gram, which is 13.2 ounces or 0.8 pounds. So I'll write all of this in the description of shells. And these ones have to be cooked. So what I usually end up doing is I prepare the meat first, let that cool. And then when it's gonna be time for stuffing, I'll start to pre-boil these. So example, these take 9 to 10 minutes to cook as per box instructions, and you do as you wish with whatever brand or kind you are using. But I'm using ones that you have to cook, so I'm gonna put a pot of water to boil. You're gonna see, I'll put them in and I'm gonna cook them halfway. So I want them not even al dente, no, I want them halfway cooked. So they'll still be raw in the center, but starting to soften a little bit so they'll open up and be a little bit more malleable so I can fill them in. And that's basically what I'm going for a slight little bit. Then I have 454 grams of lean ground beef. You can use whatever kind you like. And the reason why I like doing this recipe and stuff, I love stuffed pasta. Just a little side note, stuffed pasta, anything nice dense, al dente, or that really has lots of flavor. So I'm gonna show you a nice smooth meat stuffed pasta that is really velvety and rich and full of flavor. Grab any type of ground meat that you would like and any type of marinara sauce that you're gonna use. You can have store-bought marinara sauce, you can have your homemade marinara. This is really just to show you how to assemble and mostly prepare the meat filling. Aside, I have a Spanish onion. I'm not gonna be using all of it, it's a lot, but it's enough to season. I'm gonna use enough to season to my liking. I have 3 cloves of garlic, again, to my liking, how I wanna flavor this full packet of meat. I love garlic. This is honestly the only spices that will be flavoring the meat. Salt, pepper, some garlic and onion, and then a little bit of olive oil. So you're gonna see me saute the garlic and onion and a little bit of olive oil. Once translucent, a couple of minutes, I'm gonna put in the packet of meat, break it down, and I'm gonna fully cook it and then set it to the side so that it just gets to room temperature. Because what we're gonna be doing after the meat is cooked is we are just going to be pulsating it in a food processor to get to that nice velvety texture that meat filling pastas have. About 1/3 of a Spanish onion. Again, I don't want to say big chunks because I do want to sweat this down, so I'm gonna dice it, but I'm not gonna be so particular on the sizing. It's more so for even cooking. Not a professional here, so you're really seeing it as if you would be invited to my house and I'd be cooking in front of you. But that's it. And this is something I show on my stories quite often, and everybody's like, how do you make it? How do you do it? And I love sharing with you guys what I know. I cook often at home, but measurements are when I'm just entertaining and showing what I do at home and you ask me right away, what's the measurements or what's the ingredients or that I use a lot of whatever I have at home and I just throw things together. So this kind of forces me to really write down a recipe. So yeah, I'm happy I'm doing this one. Whoa. The onion tis. All right, gonna go over to stovetop now and you guys will see me wipe my tears and start to soften this up, and then we're going to add in the meat and brown that. All right, so the pan is warming up. We have our diced 3 cloves of garlic and 1/3 of a Spanish onion diced up. This is going to be frying up with a little bit of olive oil, just translucent, and then I'm going to be putting in browning my meat, fully cooked, a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And then you taste it and you adjust along the way. You want it a little bit more spicy or whatnot. I'm just doing a basic simple to show you the process, and then you guys season with your heart and season with your flavors. That's it. So I'm just going to be cooking this the whole way. My pan was a little too hot when I started because I was chit-chatting a bit too much with the camera, but all good, all good. Lowered the heat and sauteed those onions, browning this beef. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to taste. Just a little sprinkle. Just to brighten up the flavor a bit. And then once this is cooked, take a taste it, as mentioned, season as you wish. But it's honestly, truly very simple. Should not be intimidated. I'm not a professional, I'm just a home cook, so. So the meat has finished cooking. I'm going to put it off to the side so that it gets to room temperature before step number 2, food processor. See you soon. So I have the pasta boiling in the background. As mentioned, box instructions, cut that in half. Mine says 9 to 10 minutes, so I put 5. And then I'm gonna shock it with cold water just to stop the cooking process. I want them starting to soften a bit on the outside so I can open the shell and fill them in easier, but I don't want them to fully cook. I have my food processor. I have my meat that has been cooled down. My hands are clean. I'm going to be filling it in. Now you could have a small one, a big one, or you can have the immersion blender, anything that gets a nice ground paste. So I strongly suggest a food processor versus a blender because a processor really gets it nice and velvety. And I would add a little splash of, I would say about 1/4 cup, not even a few tablespoons of just sauce, just to get that right consistency texture. So I just took a passata, 1 full jar of sauce, 1 full jar of water with a bit of spices over stovetop, and I cooked my sauce. Again, you can use jarred sauce as you wish. Nice and smooth, not runny at all. pate texture. That's exactly what we're going for. So you saw that I just spooned in about maybe 3 to 4 spoons worth and a little drizzle just to get to a nice moist but still thick consistency. And then we have the pasta shells that are sitting in cold water, but you see how I can open them up softer. They're still hard, but they've had a couple of minutes where I can kind of just open it up a little bit, so they'll be easier to fill. I have a 9.5 by 13.5 baking dish, a 3-quart or 24.13 times 34.39 3 liter, like a lasagna dish, a glass one. I have the oven preheated to 400. Everything is cooked aside from the pasta that just needs a little bit more of a cook. So this is really quick. It's really just to marry everything together, get a nice little broil. If you want to put some parmigiano the last few minutes, etc. A quick half hour at 400 degrees, this is totally done. I have my sauce here that I've seasoned to my liking. Again, jarred sauce as you wish. I can link a marinara video for you guys up above to your right. I'm gonna start by always layering. Make sure that you guys see it. When I film by myself, it's like film a bit, change angle, film a bit, change angle. It's quite a lot to do. So when I'm two, I love it where I'm just behind the camera and I just kind of direct my mom. But there you go. I'll try to get you shots as much as possible. But I mean, you know what I'm doing here. I added some pepper flakes. I love spicy, so I usually add it to my meat sauce, but I added it to my sauce here. You just want to cover the base so that your shells will start to sit in here. And then I'm going to take a shell and I'm gonna fill it. My hands are clean. This is my food, so it's what I'm eating. And you fill it as much or as little as you want, but I honestly like to give it a nice good filling, like so. And they layer in the dish. I think there's usually a little leftover when it comes to the pasta in this ratio. Every brand is different on how many you get in a box. So again, I'm gonna write down the measurements of what I used, but I should be able to fill this whole tray for sure. And then if I do have a little bit of leftover, then it goes in another dish. And if anything cracks, like a pasta shell corner or whatever, no stress. Everything bakes and tastes just as delicious. You can totally make this and save for big parties. Do something in advance, and this is delicious. So you can make your ricotta filling, where you see us make a classic ricotta filling in our manicotti cannelloni video. And now you see how to make a meat filling. So you guys, you got this, you could do this. But when you're busy and you totally order, it's totally fine too. Totally fine. I just poured another little bit of sauce all around. I don't want the pasta to stick to the sides, and then a little bit of sauce on top. So foil on to keep it tender to finish cooking the shells, and then foil off 10-15 minutes uncovered if you want to add any garnishes, parmigiano cheese, mozzarella, or just have it get a little bit more of a crispier crust. And in the oven it goes for 30 minutes at 400 degrees. Guys, absolutely delicious. It is so good. Guys, you can make this meat filling as you wish, but this, guys, restaurant worthy. It's so good. I really hope you guys give this one a try. If you do, I was gonna say let us know, it's usually my mom here, but let me know in the comments down below. And you can always find this recipe on our website at www.loveittoeat.net, where you will be able to follow it to the T to recreate it or help it inspire you to create your own. Thank you so much for watching. And until then, happy Sunday. And as always, continue to love what you eat. Bye for now. Oh my God, so good. Delicious.